What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Got some big things happening on the house today. As you saw in the last video, we got the foundation completely finished, and now you see behind me we've got some stuff happening. So we've got, right now, lumber is being delivered. We'll start framing tomorrow, and we also have our water meter going in. So a lot of things happening right now. Excited to be able to get this framing lumber here and ready to go, and we'll really look forward to the progress of it getting framed tomorrow. And as you can see by my breath, it's really cold, so it's not going to be fun to work in, but it's how it goes building a house. All right, guys, we are in full framing mode right now. It's been a busy morning, get everyone going. We had a little bit of mix up with the engineering for the floor trusses and the I-joists, so we've had to do a little change up of our plans, get some additional things here. It'll all work out great though. Kind of ideally what we were wanting to do anyways, but what they sent, it'll just be a little bit of extra work. So as you can see behind me, we're already framing. It's been about 2 hours we've been working so far. Got the rim joist up and working on getting the stuff down the center. Then we also have the power company here, going to be replacing this pole and then putting our pole in on the property today. So we've got a lot happening. We'll keep up with the progress of the framing. This is when it really gets exciting, and it's going to be nice to actually have power now and not have to run off of generators, because it's really irritating trying to work off generators. So we are in full swing right now. We got most of the floor joists in, and they're working on the power pole, getting their insulators and stuff up there. We've got the new transformer on the truck over there. So this floor is looking really good. Got the main span. These are all 16 inches on center, the ones that are in right now. And we do have to put, hangers on, not on these side because that's sitting on the foundation, but on some of those we'll have to put those in hangers, as well as the stuff in the middle. So basically whatever is not on a pier going along the center 2x12s we'll have to put in hangers. But we're making good progress. It's looking really good. We'll have a few extras to put in where the spacing is different, where the walls are being load bearing. So I have a few extra to put in, but we're moving right along, getting this framed up and getting our power switched out. So it's looking really good. We got day 2 of framing underway. We got a generator running right here, so it's a little loud, but we got the walls up, interior walls are done. They just put in our permanent power pole right there and hooked it up to our tent pole. So they're still working on replacing the pole on the road and switching all the lines over. But got some OSB on the outside here. So they do have all of our interior walls framed and got those already braced up so everything's stable. So if we can just get a look up here, you can't really see too much better, but you can see we got a dining room over here. Then kitchen's going to be in this corner with the back door deck on this back area. But it looks really good having all this up, and excited to be able to get rid of that generator as well. Even if, we just had to run it for 2 days, it'll be nice to finally have our power pole in. But all the framing looks good. Once things kind of get settled down, we'll go and walk through all the inside and take a look at the first floor of this house. All right, they are starting to lift the LVL for the front porch and set it up temporarily, and as you can see, it is starting to rain. We're going to try to get this set up before we wrap up for the day. But this thing is a full 36-foot long single piece, going to run across the entire front porch, which will be really nice. But the Joker's heavy, and know, setting it by hand. Then it'll square it up. You got to put into place. So there's going to be 2 of them that they do that. That's the first one. They'll do the same exact thing for the second one. And here we stand after about 2.5 days of framing. We got a couple hours of working yesterday morning, but it rained the rest of the day, so didn't get too much done. As you can see, we got some standing water right here. So this is what we're looking at. And we did get our power pole in, temporary hooked up. That is going to be our permanent pole. So let's just go take a look at that. We got that, you know, drilled in the ground, and they did get that pole right there that we're running off of replaced. So that one's brand new with the transformer on it running to us. And then there is a pole that's down there that this line runs to that they got replaced as well. So it's really nice. The one that's over here is in good shape. It was a newer pole anyways. So it's nice to have these ones replaced, so we really won't have any issues with that. So now that we got power, it's a lot easier than running a generator, but this is what the point we're at after 2.5 days of framing. Like I said, we got one more of these LVLs to put up. It's laying right there. So we got all the interior walls framed. And as I said, with the rain, I got the wood covered up so that a lot of it wouldn't get drenched. A little bit of rain wouldn't hurt. But let's go and check out the inside. And actually, this is my first time being in here since it rained, and we don't have any standing water. So that's good. I was going to get this swept out, but it looks like we don't have an issue. I just don't know how bad the crawl space is. So just want to look at, I'll take you through the first floor layout right here. So of course we have our front porch, which is nice, and we'll run the full length. So I'll just come in as if we're coming up the front steps, which will be right here. So coming in the front door, we'll of course have our living room will be in the front here, which will be plenty of room in front of the window and everything, a nice sitting area. We'll have the stairs immediately to the right. We'll have a few steps up here to a landing, and then those steps will go up. So living room, then the kitchen will be in the back here, and we'll have a 5-foot island right here. Small closet, which we're doing a whole house water filtration system, which that will be in here, along with having this just for storage. Then we'll have our pantry right here, which is it's about 6 foot wide and like 4 foot deep or so. It's, you know, the width of the stairs. So a really nice sized pantry, nice sized kitchen, which I'm excited about. Of course, the kitchen sink will be right here, looking out towards the back. So I'm really excited to have some counter space. It's going to be a ton more than what we currently have in our small mill house. So coming from the kitchen, coming over to the back porch, which this right here is currently 12 foot wide, 10 foot deep. Our stairs will go directly off the back, which those posts aren't in yet. So it'll be a nice size porch for us to get started out with. We'll eventually make it bigger, most likely extending it that way is probably this way as well. We won't go too far that way, of course, because we have this nice picture window in the dining room, but definitely will be going the other direction in the future. So it's a good size now to fit the grill and stuff on, and just have some room to sitting and relaxing, hanging out. We love just sitting outside on the porch, so it'll be a nice space for us to use. So of course, we have the picture window here, then another one right there. This will be our dining room. Looking out the back. Then coming down this hallway, right here we have a half bath. So this will be our bathroom for downstairs. So we put it here rather than trying to use the space under the stairs, which is pretty common, you know, using understair space, but we'll use that for a closet and then the pantry there. So we'll have our half bath right here. This will be our mud room and will be our main entrance. So we'll be parking right here so we can come in the driveway and come and park on this side. This will be our personal main entrance. We'll have a nice big coat closet here. Plenty of room. This thing is massive. It's about 5 foot by 5 foot, maybe 6 by 5, something like that. It's pretty big. So we'll have the coat closet here. We'll put a bench right here so we can sit down and put our shoes on. We'll have right here is a network closet. So we'll have all of our internet and stuff running through this, and we will be running Ethernet cable, Cat 6, and having ports most likely in each room, just so we can hardwire stuff. And then we'll probably have some access points upstairs and downstairs. We might as well just go ahead and do that while we're doing it. So we'll be running that Ethernet ourselves, which we can run and terminate it, done that before. Then we will have a utility sink right here. Then coming out and going up to the very front of the house, this will be our music room. So we are musicians, play guitar. My wife plays, the keyboard. So this will be the spot for all of our music equipment, amps. Most likely we'll have our guitars, hanging on the wall. So it'll be a nice dedicated space for us to use for that. And then we'll have a small closet right here to store all of our cases and equipment and stuff that we're not using. So that is the layout of the first floor. So right now, all the framing looks really good. I'm excited about it. And, it's something different, when you finally step into the layout that you designed and that you've seen on paper and the dimensions and things that you'll think work out. And once you actually see it in reality, it's a big difference, right? From looking it on paper and just seeing numbers to actually standing in it. And we're really liking the layout as it is and looking forward to, being able to see it progress. So we got trusses being delivered tomorrow, the second floor trusses and the roof trusses being delivered tomorrow, which today is Friday. They'll be delivered on Saturday. And then we will start framing the second floor on Monday. So that'll take about another week. We've got some holidays coming up, so we'll lose a couple days, but it'll take about a week to get that done. So it's going to be, about a 2-week process. We lose some time to the rain, which is just how it goes in construction. You can always count on losing time to weather. It's just part of the business and part of doing stuff outside like this. We can't frame when it's raining. So we lose a little bit of time there, lose some time to holidays, but we're keeping on moving. We're really liking the progress. So I'll come back to you when we have the second floor going on. And day 3 of framing is well underway. You can see we got our roof trusses there. Our second story floor trusses are going on. We're almost finished with those. Looks like we only have a handful left. So looking really good. Able to start building this second story now. And then we'll get these set in a couple days. Once we get all this done, and it looks like we'll have some good weather, which will be awesome. So you can see, I got most of these up. I only have this handful left to go right there. It's looking really good. I like it. So we're at the morning of day 4 of framing. So as you can see, yesterday on the 3rd day we got all the 2nd story floor trusses up and got the decking on that, and now we are working on the exterior walls. So in a little bit we'll have all these exterior walls of the 2nd floor up, and then we can actually go up and take a look and see what the whole layout of the 2nd floor is going to look like. So making good progress. And if you want to see how these guys are working, framing the 2nd story, my man is just carrying a full stack of 2x4s up the ladder. So these guys are good, they know what they're doing. And it's definitely not easy work. So it's tough carrying, what is he carrying, like nine 2x4s up the ladder to the 2nd floor. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's hard work, but it makes a great product when you're finished. And it's lunchtime, day 4 still. We got all the exterior walls up and are working on the interior walls of the 2nd floor. Just take a quick walk around. We got a master bedroom on the left side, front guest bedroom on the right. We do have 2 windows over on this side on the master to give us some nice views over into the woods. And we only have 1 window on the back in the guest. There is a transom window that is framed up there, is not cut out yet, which will be in the shower and tub area. So this outside looks good now. Let's go up and check out the 2nd floor. All right, in the 2nd story, we are standing in the back guest bedroom. So we'll come in, we have a closet right here. This will be the guest bathroom. And then we have another bedroom up here as well, again with the closet there. So we'll have a nice window view out to the front and to the back. Coming up the stairs, we'll just have a little storage area right here. And then at the end is our laundry and the master bedroom over on this side. So making good progress so far today. Master bedroom, we'll have 2 closets, and then the master bathroom. Then right there again is that transom window I was talking about. So it looks good. Good progress for today. So should get really all of these interior walls up and done today. And in the framing process, we are currently at the 4.5 day mark. Today is Christmas Eve, so the guys only worked a half day today, so they're already gone. And as you can see on the front porch is where you see the major progress so far. They did get, the interior walls upstairs framed, but we'll go look at that in a second. But you can see what we have on the front porch. Also, they have the gables prepped, and this looks absolutely awesome. So they got the ceiling in here done, 2x6s. We'll have some lights on this. They got the second LVL up. So that is finished, got it propped up, and we have the, you know, post locations marked out. So those will be going up soon as well. Well, this front porch is amazing. It looks so good. Really happy with how it turned out. Really happy. Really happy. And this, what I really like, you know, having the LVLs all the way across, is it will be like just a nice seamless look, and still undecided on if we're just going to wrap it with aluminum or if we'll paint it, or, you know, what exactly and how we're going to finish it. I do have some brackets, some nice metal brackets, which we can look at, that are going to go on the 6x6s. So we'll use these on the corners, and then we'll have these for the 6x6 and the LVL to tie them together. And then of course have the fasteners for it. So it's going to be nice having those exposed. So may just paint it. I don't know, we'll figure that out. We don't have to figure it out right now, but this looks great. And we will have some can lights up in here to give us our light. Man, this looks great. That's so nice. All right, so really that's all you can see as progress on the front, because they've been working upstairs. So now let's go up there and take a look. And now that we're upstairs, this is what we're looking at. So now the last look we had up here is basically just all the exterior walls. So now this is our stairwell. We've got a little knee wall right here, which I think we still have to fasten this to the LVL. But we'll come up, again, I mentioned laundry room, bathroom, then the bedrooms. So this is a nice little bedroom. Now that all the walls are up and we can actually feel it out. Feels nice, plenty of room. You know, bed will probably go up against that wall. Well, that's really the place for it. It'd be up against that wall. Got a nice sized closet. Laundry room, which will have plenty of room here for the washer and the dryer. And then still have, you know, storage space here. We'll probably get some cabinets up on the wall. And one thing that I like, you know, it's almost, you'd almost think a little wasted space just because we have so much room here in front of the bedroom and the laundry room, but it's really nice just that it's not super cramped. So, you know, we have plenty of room right here to, you know, come up the stairs, bring stuff in, you know, bringing up the washer and dryer, but it's not super cramped and really small and hard to get around. So I think it works out great. Then coming over into the master bedroom, which this is really big and is nice. We'll have a lot of room to have some like extra seating and plenty of room for the dressers and everything. And then we've got a pocket door that's right here. So you can see right there, we'll pocket over. And then we'll have a closet. So I don't know why they framed a door there, but they framed a door there. We'll fill that in. Closet right here. Have my wife's closet on this side, which of course it is bigger, because of course it is. Then walk up, we'll have our toilet room with a pocket door. So this will pocket this way. We'll have our vanity right there, tub and shower, and with our transom window right there. So that's our upstairs. Of course, you know, as we go, a couple things to fix. As we're framing it, I had to downsize this door a little bit because we didn't have enough room. It's kind of how things go, especially on, you know, a new design like this where we haven't built it before. So we just have to change up some things as we go. So I had to downsize that just by a couple inches just to make it fit. Just because of this knee wall, it should have been as planned, you know, out here, but we didn't have room, which is fine. no big deal on a closet to make it just a little bit smaller. It'll still be a 2-4 door, so it'll be plenty big. But yeah, 4.5 days in, we have the upstairs completely framed. You know, a couple things to fix, but no big deal. And then we have the base for our stairs right there. They just started on that. And then once we get the stairs built, we'll get on the storage room, we'll get a floor and or ceiling right here framed out. And then we can kind of cut out the wall as we need to make that fit, just so it'll be a little bit of a step up from the current floor. But you know, it's a storage room anyways. There's nothing planned to go there. Probably just have HVAC ducts run through there anyways, so not that big a deal. And it'll be a nice use to just have that little bit of extra space for storage. So 4.5 days in, it's looking good. Next, we'll have in a couple days, have the crane come and we'll set the trusses. All right guys, as you can see, crane truck is here. We have the very first truss, the gable end, just went up. They're securing it in place. We got the second one right there already built, ready to go up. So it's a big day for us. Big day framing, getting these trusses up. And what it really does, once we get all these up, it really secures and stabilizes the house itself once we get the trusses up and get it decked. Because right now, you know, we have all the bracing and stuff inside. So once the trusses get up, it secures all the walls together and makes it a solid, you know, a solid wall, right? So when the trusses go up and they get nailed up, we can take all that stuff down and have the entire thing open. So big day, looking good. First one's up. I'll get a time lapse of all the rest ones for you. And as you see, we got the trusses up. Truck's heading out. I need to get out of his way, but it looks really good with the roof on it. Now it's a house. Well, here you have it. House is framed, roof is on, windows are in. Looks great. Really happy, kind of exactly how I imagined it when I was designing it and putting it together, and when my wife and I were looking at it. Exactly what we wanted, the look that we wanted, especially since we are in an old mill village. So the look with the front porch across the front, staying fairly square in its design, really keeps up with the aesthetic of the town, so it doesn't really look super out of place. So we're happy with that. But let's check it out. It looks awesome. And again, really love the front porch going all the way across. We will spend a ton of time out on the front porch there. We really enjoy sitting outside and, you know, enjoying the breeze, enjoying the sun, just being outside where, you know, you get the sunlight and the warmth and the sounds of the birds and all that stuff. So we are going to take full advantage of having this front porch. So it looks great. We do have the HVAC stuff marked going in on this corner. So I met with him yesterday. So that'll be the next thing up, is doing the HVAC, just to give him the space in the webbed floor trusses to run all of his stuff where he wants it. So none of the plumbing or anything is in the way of that. The electrical, they can all run around him, since his stuff is going to be bigger than theirs, and they can route stuff around his. Then we have this side. So let's go in and take a look. This right here will be basically our main entry, because we'll come in the driveway and park over here. We'll eventually have a garage on this side as well. That'll come in the future. But this will be our main entry, the mud room, which will have space to put a little bench over there. Got a nice big closet for storage for our jackets and all that stuff. We'll have our network closet, which will run all of our Ethernet cable out of. And then we have a space for a utility sink. So now let's just jump over to the living room and the front door entrance. And it does look a lot bigger without having all the wall supports in here to get in the way and, you know, make it a little bit more closed in, claustrophobic. So coming in the front door, we do have our steps going up to the right. And here we take a look at our nice front porch. Absolutely love how this turned out, and using the LVL to run a smooth, consistent path all the way across. So it looks awesome. I love it. Plenty of head height. You know, we are tall people, so plenty of room. You know, doesn't make it feel closed in. We did notch out the 6x6s a little bit. One, you know, I like how it supports it, and then also really so makes us drop the LVL down so the ceiling isn't so high. So we have plenty of room under the windows of the second floor so that our ledger doesn't have to be so high. So we dropped it down about 6 inches. I think still gives it a good finish and also lets the roof look good. So nice front porch. We'll have some lights, some can lights in here. So now let's turn around and go back in our entrance. So this will be the living room. Nice open space, you know, have some light coming in from the front window, and one on the side. We'll have, you know, couches set up in this area. TV on that wall where we can watch the ball game. Then under the stairs, we'll have a little kind of doghouse for our little man over there, so that he can have a place to get away and hang out when we're out of the house. So that'll be nice for him. And then we have a storage closet right here. So there's just miscellaneous storage, probably like vacuum cleaner, other brooms, mops, that kind of stuff. And then we will be using a whole house water filter, which is going to go right here. So we'll be able to run our water pipes up, you know, and across to run through the filter, and then back down to go to the rest of the house. So this will be a nice area, kind of bigger than I had planned under the stairs, but a really good place for it because it's going to be back out of the way, yet still easily accessible. So, right, we'll be able to store stuff in front of it, and when the time comes to replace the sediment filter and all that, we can just move it out and have easy access to it and a lot of space. So that's going to turn out to be a really nice space in addition for us. Then we'll have a pantry right here, which we're excited to have the extra space for storing various food items, because right now our cabinet space is very limited. And in the kitchen, we'll have an island right here. It'll be 5 foot across, just one cabinet width deep, so 2 foot deep. Have our kitchen sink right here looking out the back, which is a nice view. We'll also eventually, with the extra block from the foundation, build a little fire pit back here somewhere. So this will be a really nice view out to that fire pit area and sitting area that we'll make. We'll have our range right here, which we have marked out with our hood vent going up. So it'll be nice living room, kitchen, nice open area. While I'm standing here cooking and still see the ball game going on. Can't miss a thing, you know. Football's only here for a short amount of time, so you can't miss it. Also hockey too. Don't sleep on hockey. It's a fun game to watch. We've been getting into it. Then of course coming out to the back porch, which you've seen. Still have to do the steps off the back. Now into our dining room, which is really nice. Really like the big picture window, how it turned out. Have a really nice view off to the back, especially once I get all this mulch cleared up. Really lets in a lot of light into this area. Although, you know, this side is shaded a lot, it's really just nice to make it feel more open You know, this isn't a massive dining room, right? So it's about 9 foot across. So with these 2 windows, and especially the picture window, I think it leaves a lot of light in and makes it feel a lot more open than it is. So I like how that turned out. That was a great idea by my wife. That was her addition. I just had a regular window in there. So I think she saw the vision on that a little bit more than me, and it works out. So now for the downstairs, we'll have our half bath right here. Little nice, got a small vanity, toilet, something super simple just to use. And then coming over will be our music room. Be super nice to have a dedicated space for our instruments and all that. Right now, my office is our music room, and I take up a lot of space. So my wife is excited to have my desk out of her music room. So there we go. It'll be a really nice area for us to use, and we will be soundproofing the wall between here and the living room. So it won't be too loud out there if we're in here jamming. All right, let's take a look upstairs. So we can head around back through the living room. Going upstairs, we do have a nice little exposed handrail right here that will get built in, and then we'll have our main handrail on this wall going up. Go up, we have check out the ceiling, we have the header that comes right here, and then as we step up, this ceiling itself steps up as well. So we have that step up, and then we have this ceiling sloped going up the stairs. So it makes it feel pretty nice and open with our half wall right here. It's not closed in. You don't feel closed in when you're coming up the stairs either. And then what I also like about the angled wall is, one, having that from there up, just a sheer wall, makes it really hard to clean, really hard to get to. You know, you're 10, 12 foot up above the stairs trying to reach to clean the corners or paint or do the drywall. It's just a really bad spot to get to. So this helps that. It also, as we come into our storage room, which we will have some AC ducts running down through here in this corner, but we are also able to utilize the step up above the stair landing as storage space, as well as having this, where I will eventually probably build some shelving in this area so we can utilize that as storage as well. So that's the main thing, just making sure we have a lot of available storage area to put, you know, Christmas decorations, whatever it is, our hunting gear, you know, all that stuff takes up a lot of space. So we'll be able to use it and keep this in a conditioned area, which, you know, like a lot of our hunting stuff, we want to keep in a air conditioned area, so that'll be a perfect spot for it. So again, storage room. Then coming out of that, we have a bedroom, our first guest bedroom, which most likely I'll use this one as my office. We'll have a really nice view out of the front of the house, down, you know, into the woods in that area. So a nice view, simple bedroom with a closet. Then our bathroom upstairs, which we do have a 60-inch double sink vanity going here, toilet, and then tub surround over there. Pretty simple bathroom. Then we have our other guest bedroom, which will be our guest bedroom. And then has that nice view out to the field behind us. Really nice view out back. Then coming out of here, we have our laundry room. So we'll have ducts for the downstairs running in this area. And then we'll have our washer and dryer over here. We will get this, as you can see, it's a 2x4 wall right now. I wanted them to make it 6, so we'll get it furred out and bumped out so we can get, you know, all of we'll have a ton of water in like our dryer vent and stuff in here, because we'll have our washing machine box. We'll have our shower stuff coming up in this wall. So there'll be a lot of stuff in it. So I want to make sure we have enough room. So with the washer and dryer there, we'll most likely have some cabinets on the wall somewhere just for extra storage, maybe even on this wall. We'll figure it out when we get there. But again, nice big laundry room, so we're not super cramped and can have a lot of space to put stuff, store stuff, cabinet space, all that. Again, just storage, right? So coming into the master bedroom, really big, which I like. A lot of space for the bed, and probably have a small sitting area to read and just hang out. So again, a nice view out of the front to the woods as well as the sides. And this bedroom is on the shaded side of the house, so the sun mainly hits on the other side, so should stay nice and cool in here, which we like it really cool in the house and in our bedroom, especially sleeping. So it'll be really nice. We'll have a pocket door right here that goes into the bathroom and closets, so that'll pocket this way. And then we'll have 2 pocket doors for the closets, which will pocket towards the bathroom. So we'll be able to have hanging space, on these walls here, as well as the 2 walls on this side, and probably half. We'll figure it out however she wants to do it. This, as you can see, this is the bigger closet. This will be her closet. I get the smaller closet, which is fine with me because I'm just working with a Walmart clothes wardrobe deal, stand-up wardrobe anyways. So this will be way more space than I'm currently dealing with, so I'll take it. Now next, we have, of course, the thing that the house was built around, the master bathroom. So just coming straight in, we'll have the toilet on this side. This will be a pocket door as well, so it'll be closed off. We'll have a 60-inch double vanity right here with our soaking tub and shower in this kind of wet room area. We'll build a curb across here and then have a drain, just a linear drain in the center here, shower tub with a nice little transom window to let some light into this area. So it's going to be great. We'll have the shower valve on this side and run a regular shower head and a rain head as well, which I'm really looking forward to. The tub was her request. The rain head was my request. So that'll be over here. Probably we'll build a niche along this wall once we get to that point for all of our shampoos and conditioners and all that stuff. So last thing we have is the attic access, which will go right here, right at the top of the stairs. So it'll open down this way, and we'll have the whole, as I mentioned when looking at the trusses, the whole center of the house is done up and has subflooring on it for storage. So wherever he'll put the HVAC unit somewhere up here towards the center, but the rest of that will be accessible for storage, which will be great. So we can kind of put plywood down in other places wherever we want to have maybe just some stepping room to get around the HVAC equipment to get to the other stuff, but it's really nice that the middle of this is storage. So, man, that's it. It looks awesome. We are really happy with it, aren't we, buddy? So it's going to be really nice. We're really excited, and what's mainly exciting is just having, our vision of the plan and the building and what it was going to look like kind of come to pass and see it in reality, you know, going from a drawing to an actual physical thing, it's a lot of difference, right? So dimensions on paper are one thing, and you can pull a tape and lay it out, but once it's actually here and you're standing in the walled off space, it's a big difference. So we're really excited with it. And moving right along, I mean, we started building. We broke ground for the foundation on November 19th. It is currently December 31st. So we're just a little bit over a month into this project. And, you know, that includes missing holidays for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we've lost, you know, 3 or 4 days at least of work just because, look, people take off, they have families, right? Everyone, we're not going to just work through holidays. So even with losing those days for the holidays, you know, we're moving right along, moving really great. So as I mentioned, I met with our HVAC guys yesterday to get things marked out, and they'll start this coming week. And I basically expect just a week for each trade. So we'll run the HVAC, and then we'll run the plumbing, and then the electric. So as I was mentioning, the HVAC guy going first, just because of these web trusses and the limited space that he has. So he only has, you know, certain areas available to run ducts through, and especially to fit in our air returns and things like that, you know, especially for coming down to the first floor. So he needs to have his stuff run and in place so he doesn't have to try to work around any pipes that are running through his areas, or, you know, especially if we had a drain pipe that ran, you know, like from the master bathroom or something down through this area where is basically the only place for us to put the air return downstairs because of where it has to run through upstairs. That would be a problem, right? We can't move the plumbing, the solid pipe, in order to make that return fit. So it's better to have the HVAC guys run first, and then we can work the plumbing around it and around their ducts, or have them work around the ducts. So we're really excited with it. It's looking great. Super happy with the progress and the timeline that we're looking at. You know, windows in, roof on, in about 5 or 6 weeks. Really happy with it. So that's going to be it for this one. And the next one, we'll get into the trades: HVAC, plumbing, and electric, and then we'll be at our rough inspection stage. So thanks for watching this. Thanks for staying along with the progress. We're super excited to be able to do this, and really blessed to have this opportunity to build our dream home. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.